because with Netflix and all these streaming services, you can consume it whenever you want.
Right.
You're not really selling pay-per-views anymore, right? Like, you would watch Raw and you'd watch SmackDown so that you could see what was happening going into the pay-per-views. And what was the big thing that they used to do back in the day when you would have to call your cable company and order the pay-per-views? They would do Sunday Night Heat, would have some type of cliffhanger that you'd be like, oh, I have to order this. Or I remember when they would do those, the TV Guide channel would have that exclusive 30-minute show where you'd get a chance to see the set.
Which isn't that funny because now AEW does that.
Yes.
So like they've had the 0 hours, but even that show has become the Saturday tailgate on like TNT going into the pay-per-views, which kind of supplants their Collision since they shouldn't have a Collision up against their pay-per-view, right?
Sure.
Which they've done like Rampage against one or something in the past.
Which makes no sense.
Well, I think it gets stuck with like their obligations as a contract for the network.
Right.
But now that it plays nicer since they're all on HBO Max. So they'll like, oh, we're getting money from you for the pay-per-view, so we're going to lead into it with content on TNT and yada yada, right?
Right.
It is weird seeing AEW in that old model.
Yeah.
And seemingly doing pretty okay with it.
Better than WWE, I would argue at this point. At least in the old model. Now, again, you don't have a reason for WWE to follow the sthe pattern that they did before.
Because they're really like, look at it, they led to a big what's the word I'm looking for? A big tentpole show on Raw. They're setting up for a 3 Stages of Hell on a SmackDown in Germany. Your Saturday night's main events have been like some big events treated like your pay-per-views.
Sure.
Like the city takeovers they do, which is now, this is bigger. It's like, hey, we're going to go do Raw Saturday night, or a pay-per-view or this, and then, do a weekend takeover. So they take over a city, make all that money, do world signings, all that kind of stuff.
Sure.
Like they've maximized that so much more. Here's kind of like, well, how is WWE actually doing with this? Obviously, people are showing up. They are selling out. 58 sell us, they said. They kept telling me while I watched the last Raw of the year, right? Going to I was sick last year and didn't get to do it. I love going to, we always get in Pittsburgh. We're always on the holiday tour.
Yep.
The house show holiday tour.
Sure.
And I went this year, and the shocking thing for me, I remember going, Kevin Owens is there, whoever else is there that year, AJ Styles, I can't remember who was on top at the time. And I remember you would have, okay, the floor is full, you have up like the club seats and, up, but the corners were empty, and like that was it. Like, I don't know, maybe a few thousand people were there. And then like this time I went, it was hard to get a seat. You could barely find a seat under $100 on the lower bowl. They opened up about a third of up top, and I saw no empty seats.
Yeah.
That was crazy for a house show, even in this market.
Sure.
I've never seen that. Never seen that.
Well, because the house, I mean, if you look at what the house show represents now, it's an undersold venue for a band.
Had me looking for the numbers, and it was like, okay, how many house shows have they done, including internationals? We know they do some in some big venues.
Sure.
When they go do the big pay-per-view in France, they'll do another town in France or something. They were 100+ house shows, untelevised events. 25 is where they're at now, which Cody Rhodes talked about this recently. I hate not having the house shows. I love having the more time and be able to recover. But I hate not having them because that's where you learn things. His interview with John Cena that he did after the retirement, they got into that, about how like this is really important for development, trying things, yada yada, and that would involve doing something on Monday. And I think that is missing. That was a complaint I think Cody and others had with AEW. These Jade wasn't getting better because she's only getting a rep every other week, right? Or Powerhouse Hobbs and all these guys. Hughes is another guy. But yeah, like you kind of see that. Like, are they doing enough? Like, at least they have an opportunity. They can do the indies.
Yeah, I mean, and WWE now has folded NXT, TNA into that mold where if you need more reps, you're going to go down and do it.
Sure, but Taya Valkyrie can't show up on TNA.
Well, correct.
Right?
Correct. I think for me, when you put it in the context of this, though, it's like you take like Blink-182. They're playing, 40,000 cap venues. And then all of a sudden we're going to do one show that's going to have 18,000 people. Well, people are going to line up in droves to go see that because it's an under crowded venue that you just don't see anymore.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, and I think this speaks to indie wrestling too, though, but with how accessible technology is and broadcasting and streaming, there's almost no reason for WWE to have house shows anymore.
No.
I mean, because if you're going to put content out there, you may as well put it on film.
And I think it was, TKO is really big about the maximizing, we talked on here some of the comments about variable pricing based on demand. They are creating more demand by less house shows, you alluded to.
Right.
And then that's just like, I remember seeing the show in Elmira, New York with my Missy's grandmother, right? A little hockey arena. I can't think it. 5,000 was probably a, mild suggestion. Maybe it's 3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is like Ric Flair, Batista, and Triple H in a handicap match for your main event, in like the mid to late 2000s. How much money are you making off of that? Right. Like they're maximizing it. Why are you wearing everybody out to do this when we can send them to France instead and make a bunch of money?
Yeah. And I think where TKO and WWE, and when I say TKO, I mean more UFC.
Yeah.
Where I think they're going to run into an issue in the fact that their business model is not adaptable to WWE. And I say this all the time in my theory in pro wrestling, okay? When you start a wrestling show, when you're the first match, okay, my theory always has been you have to start with a lockup and you have to start with a rope break. And the reason is because we have to educate the fans on what the rules of professional wrestling are. Because
it's always somebody's first show.
Well, it's always someone's first show, but it's also we are operating in a sport where not a lot of people have a grasp of the rules. They're either not posted anywhere, or a lot of people know the rules of sport because you've played a youth sport. So there's Little League Baseball, there's Pee Wee football, there's elementary school basketball, soccer, what have you. We don't have amateur professional wrestling. Okay. We don't have professional wrestling class. UFC is the type of product that is able to be consumed by the masses, but participated in by the masses, in evidence by the fact that there's UFC gyms. Yeah. Now,
there's one right downtown and in the waterfront.
That's what I mean. Yeah. Now, you might not be able to go in there and do a UFC fight, right? Like a padded, gloved fight. Okay. But they can teach you grappling. They can teach you striking on beanbags or on punching bags. You can go lift weights there. You can work out. Yeah. You can do everything around that sport. I don't know that you'll ever have that with professional wrestling. And so that's where I think that model, there's a limit to how much you can monetize.
Yeah, that. I don't think and I've seen some schools try to have like youth classes around pro wrestling, but it's always been like, how does that work? And I don't think it's something that is going to get mainstream.
No, the person I'd be interested to ask about or talk to would be like Sam Adonis, because I remember Sam Adonis telling us that in Mexico, they actually have lucha libre wrestling classes for the general public.
Okay.
Which are no different, at least the way he described it, no different than it would be to have like a ballroom dance class where anyone could sign up, right? You'd have people at different levels, different skill levels. So
an interesting extracurricular at this point.
Right, or a way to exercise. But that's the difference is like WWE is theater. It's a sport. There's athleticism, but it's theater at the end of the day. It is not a sport that can be participated in and consumed by absolutely everyone.
Yeah.
And that's the difference in the model. You're not going to have a WWF gym that pops up, right? Because you're not going to have a professional wrestling class.
I feel like they're going to try at this point, though.
Well, I mean, but
wait, hey, the restaurant didn't work. The Niagara Falls store didn't work with the ride. We'll see what happens in Saudi with this thing they just put in.
Yeah, but if you're looking at TKO, why would TKO acquire this, right? If they want to do the UFC model to WWE, right? That's what you would do.
Well, they're definitely applying the hey, let's charge a lot of money for experiences. Like you can tell when you sit at a WWE show. I've seen this Mania and SummerSlam. They run these commercials. I think they do on the public feed as well. Like their feeds are like there's a whole wing of it is like pay us like 100, 20 grand to like have an experience at FIFA World Cup, right? Like crazy high end stuff. And I'm just like, who is your audience? I was talking to somebody the other day about this. This came up on a TikTok from some podcast, and there was the idea, the WWE pigs, which are and I'm not to disparage wrestling fans, but I see this. I remember this from going to like Gathering of the Juggalos. You'd have the people that go in there, hit the merch stand, and have an armful of jerseys that are $150 a pop.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And this is a music that, in my mind is my fellow trailer trash. You know what I mean?
Right.
But they saved up their money, and that's what they spent it on. You go to WWE, and like the thing they'd explain is like, you go, and this might have been probably an average or something too. They got a belt on each shoulder and wearing one, and they're buying the shirts, and they're $40 a pop, and this and this. I know we buy way too many $40 T-shirts when we go to WrestleMania, but fuck it, that's our vacation, know.
Sure.
And that is hey, we don't know how long we'll be able to do this and afford it. Let's enjoy it while we can. This is our Disney World, right? And you see that, like, I'm just like, they've knowingly separated from Tina's in Seattle area talking to us about the accessible areas. They don't care.
No.
Why would there's no money in that for them. Mm-hmm. They want all the people. They want to fill as many 40 to 80,000 seat stadiums as they can.
Sure.
Because that just maximizes for them.
And
that's what they're thinking.
They'll bleed it dry until they can't.
I mean, that's capitalism, baby.
Well, yeah. And and I mean, the good thing is,
and they're good at that. And TKO is good at capitalism around sports.
Right. And look,
they have bull riding as well.
When the model fails,
mm-hmm.
which it undoubtedly will, because
it'll
it'll be too
pop.
big.
The bubble will pop.
Then all they'll do is they'll take that capital
mm-hmm.
and they'll spread it around in all 50 states, and
mm-hmm.
you'll have your own independent WWE developmental program
mm-hmm.
similar to a single A baseball program.
That will put pressure on all the indies.
Well, or they'll just go into areas and they'll work with existing indies and infuse capital. I mean,
mm-hmm.
imagine what a company like 880 would look like
mm-hmm.
if WWE came along and said, "Here's $20,000."
Could you imagine what an 880 could do with $20,000?
Could you imagine what 880 could do with $1,000?
Hey, could you imagine what 880 could do with $50?
That's what I mean. I mean, like, but you take any company.
Well, this applies to anybody. Any 4-letter company in the area that we
I mean, for $20,000, RWA could basically, like, could you imagine
renovate
what
that fucking building,
dude?
Make their gym
that they don't own.
Yeah. They can buy it.
Make a stiff donation to the city of West Newton.
I think you could probably buy, like Riz said, you could buy that building 3 times over for $20,000.
You can buy West Newton.
Tear down the subway that pissed off Ricky Morton.
Exactly. But imagine, like, and when you're talking about a company the likes of WWE and TKO,
mm-hmm.
right? When we sit here, $20,000, I mean, that's some people's yearly salary.
Mm-hmm.
To them, that's like one YouTube video,
mm-hmm.
2 YouTube videos.
Mm-hmm.
So if they can harness that,
a night of merch at a smaller venue,
bingo. So here, little indie promotion. Here's 20,000.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pipeline people up.
Yeah.
I mean, it's essentially what they're doing with the ID stuff.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Which is interesting. And I know that's been kind of I don't know, seems like ups and downs from what I keep hearing from that. So I don't know. Like it happens. I hear about people coming in their ID. I hear a little bit of what the deal is that they have. And I mean, it's going to take time to see what that develops into, right?
Yeah, I'm not willing to pass judgment on it as a success or
it's
a failure
too early.
at this
it's way
point.
too early.
I think it's a great opportunity for people.
Mm-hmm.
I think that I'd have to imagine some promoters had a little bit of sticker shock when they saw talent with the ID attached to them, thinking
mm-hmm.
that they have these, untouchable booking rates.
Yeah.
When realistically, I'd be shocked if any of these talents changed their booking rates to begin with,
mm-hmm.
right? Because the whole idea of the ID program is we're going to give you money to supplement your indie wrestling career. So we want you to get the reps, but we want you to have better gear. We want you to be able to travel, and you don't have to worry about the normal things that every wrestler
It's not an
looks at.
extensive amount of money. It's not a life-changing amount of money, but it's enough to get somebody over a hump from the sounds of it.
Right. And so if you have that money in your back pocket, you should not necessarily be having to charge an increased rate for your booking.
Tina has a question for us out here because we remember there was a lot of, I've talked to people from Progress around this. I think when things were kind of on the back end of not working out. But, she's asking, do you think that the early offer for the UK indies before the NXT UK was formed was something like this, like what you're proposing?
100%.
Because remember, they did, again, Progress, God, I can't remember all the companies that were out there. They were on the network. They were cross-promoting talent between them. And then it became UK and kind of sucked all the air out of them.
And I think the rumor I had heard at that point was, when Walter / Gunther got signed, I think WWE had this idea that they were going to set up satellite companies in every single major country.
Yeah, they were talking China, they were talking Japan.
Because remember, there was that period where Cena was learning to speak Mandarin.
Yeah.
Because WWE really wanted to make a hard play to push into the Chinese market.
Yep.
And I had heard, and again, this is, tell a friend, tell a wrestler rumor,
Yeah.
but I had heard that what they were looking to do was take someone like Gunther, prime him through the WWE system, and then make him the head trainer at WWE Germany, right? So I think to our listeners' point, that was exactly what they were trying to do. And could that happen again? 100%, absolutely. I mean, what is an indie company to WWE? It's an opportunity for them to shepherd talent.
Right.
It's content. Right? It's just one other shiny new toy for them to acquire.
She's got the list for me since I forgot all of it. ICW from Scotland, WXW from Germany, and Progress was on that list. So
WXW was, and at one point too, I remember that 14 karat gold tournament that WXW was running. Like that was like, I don't want to say it was, New Japan Cup levels of, notoriety on the indie scene, but that 14 karat gold tournament they were doing, or 16 karat, whatever it was, like that was a big part of it. It was like, kind of like a big tournament in wrestling at that time.
Yeah. So we got a lot as usual. We'll be chatting a lot with you. We usually go long with David Lawless here. So I do want to get to talking to David about himself and his career. His storied career. We were reminiscing. Actually, I'll get to this in a moment after this because I was reminiscing on the first time I think I saw you at a show in McKeesport.
Interesting. I was trying to think of the first time I met you too.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is it, but it's my earliest memory of you right now.
Okay.
And we'll get to that in a moment. But in the meantime, let's give a shout out to our friends that are supporting us on patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show. You're the people that helped us, between this and you guys in the chat room every week. Let us know that there is a community around this, and I need to not sit at home and play Mario and sit here and talk wrestling with all you guys, which I love to do.
As painful as that is.
What's that?
As painful as that is.
Sometimes it's more painful for others, but it's not like it's more of an emotional pain from outside sources. But and consider whether I'll still do the show even though I have COVID. Which I've done before.
Sure.
I tapped out last time. So I always get COVID on a Tuesday morning. I've noticed that too.
Interesting.
Like what's usually I fucking went to a wrestling show and that's when it kicks in, right?
Boy, let me tell you, I hope everyone out there do not get this influenza A that's going around.
It's going around everywhere around. I got my flu shot before Thanksgiving. I'm Mr. Immunity right now.
That doesn't even make a difference, though. Doesn't even make it.
Oh, boy.
Whatever, I got whatever was going around. And I have a flu shot myself. I got whatever was going around right after Thanksgiving. Oh, it was brutal.
Yeah, I feel like, some people around me have been down for about a month, still dealing with it. But anyways, thank you to our sidebar. Thank you to our Patreon supporters out there. Patreon.com/Wrestling Mayhem Show, including our friends at the fan show level. Bo Diggity! Woo! What is this? That microphone's not going to work. As well as Team Hammerfist, Tupac family, Bubba Brewer, Jason French, Tina Keys. And at the Poppy Club level, Dave Pop Bonner, Rats in a Trench Coat, Tony Kincaid, T-Pop, True Prince of Pro. At the Pizza Club level is the Riz. Thank you for bringing back Buff Eagle, by the way. But speaking of Scotland, we got to check on intern John and see how they're doing out there. I haven't heard for a while. I got to make sure.
Did you acquire your own Scottish promotion?
No. Well, intern John's out there for their master's program.
Okay.
And I did ask John to out for us
Nice.
than find some indie wrestling.
Nice.
So,
Okay.
and also, what are you? It's not even Thanksgiving, dude. Not
It's
even
still
close.
on my screen.
Justin
It's fine.
Cleaver, and at the manager level, Bradley.
There it is. It's
And
much better.
well, you know what? If you watch the pre-show video, I think there's a little clue of what Bradley's going to be
I
doing
saw
next
that.
Tuesday. I'm not going to
I
mention it,
saw
but he,
that.
as a manager level, he had a request, and we're fulfilling it next Tuesday. That graphic will probably be out maybe tomorrow or something, or if you watch that earlier part of the feed. That is not the big announcement, but that was a little surprise I
It's
threw in
not
there.
this graphic.
It's not that graphic. No, I
Not
couldn't
this
figure out how to adapt that to my graphics package. So
That was a whole laundry list of legends in
Mm-hmm.
the indie wrestling community you just named.
what?
The people that support.
Yes, absolutely.
The patrons and everything.
Yes.
I did want to talk about, I want to point out one person in that list real quick amongst all of them that are supporters, but True Prince of Pro. We talked about how, SmackDown and all them were doing like rapid fire clips and everything. If it wasn't for True Prince of Pro, GIFing, Thursday Night Fights, the big 880 shows, and all the other stuff when it was streaming, I don't know that we would have the reach that we have. So,
No, that's been a big bump for that. For absolutely, got in front of a lot of eyeballs, and I can't believe the regular crowd. That it doesn't sound like much, but there's like a regularly 30, 40, sometimes 50 plus people on that YouTube stream alone.
yes.
And it's like 500 hits by the time like I wake up the next morning, and from that initial bump, and that's enough to really push things in front of people, right?
Sure.
You know,
sure.
what was it? If you have 1,000 true fans, you're doing really good.
Yes.
And I think we have that with some of those properties there. So, but yeah, and apparently we have it here too, because I looked at the end of the year numbers and I was really actually surprised.
Nice.
I don't look at the numbers.
Sword.
As I was telling somebody about trying to promote my own show next week, I'm okay if nobody shows up. We'll do a show for ourselves.
Yeah.
That's
done
also
that.
my philosophy. What's that?
We've done that before.
We do it every week. So I literally do the show like nobody's watching.
Who wants to listen to me?
And then I'm like, and then every week I show up here. There's people in the chat room. There's people still give on Patreon giving us $1, and I am a little bit surprised every week that it's still happening.
Well, that's
And,
you just have to do it. You got to create content. You got to keep. I mean, I remember like one YouTuber I've started watching a lot of is Beard Meets Food. If you know who that is, he's a competitive eater, and
Okay.
he just does eating challenges all across the world. He was in, I think it was Norway, doing an eating challenge, and a woman came up to him and said, "Hey, I just started a hiking channel on YouTube. What would you recommend on someone that's just getting into content creation?" And his thing was, you just got to make content, and
Do it.
you can't worry about how many people are watching.
Yeah.
If it's bound to take off, it's going to.
That's
but
been my philosophy for the last 20 years. Somebody, Dutter's brother, apparently watched the Awesome Cast because he's a tech head. He's a professor at Penn State.
Okay.
And he's just like, I don't understand why more people aren't watching. And I'm like, that's what I've been trying to figure out for 15 years, kind of thing. But you never know. You never know what's going to hit. You know what I mean? So, and we definitely make content that I want to make more than content that the algorithm likes.
Sure.
We're trying to tune it a little bit, but I still Tuesday nights is Tuesday nights. You know what I mean?
I kind of want to go back to wrestling for a minute, but
Yes.
I kind of want to say this real quick.
Okay.
Doing whatever you want to do on like streaming purposes or anything like that works wonders. Like you have to have that passion.
It's genuine.
Like I played Ball Pit
Love that game.
on my stream.
Thank you for turning me on to that game.
You're welcome. I played Mega Bonk on my stream. I tried to play Baldur's Gate, didn't really like it on stream, but I liked the game. Like this patch was brilliantly done, and I can't wait to play more of it on stream. That's my thing. Like it's just on stream. So it's whatever is there on stream gets you moving.
You do the thing you like, and then like you find the people that like the thing you like, and even if that's not a huge crowd,
Right.
it's a pretty nice group. You know what I mean?
I've found if you do anything for the right reason, then and you're passionate about it, people will feel it, and the people that are meant to consume it will either love it because of the passion you put into it, or love it because it's something they love too.
You know what I didn't have a passion for? Chasing big time like AEW, WWE, TNA
Yes.
people for interviews.
Sure.
Because they were always awkward. I didn't like them. So I'd rather just talk to people that I have conversations with already, and I want to have a conversation
said
here.
Something there, Sorg.
What's that?
Almost said something.
No, you're going to behave tonight.
I'm
Okay,
this is
so there's a time for
tonight
celebration.
Behaving.
Yeah, you're gonna behave because I think I know where. I'm not counting that one, but I'm just
not that one.
But just generally, like when you'd have somebody on that you.
But no, you're right.
Booked,
like
never had a conversation with before, and have to build a rapport right off the. I'm not Chris Van Vliet. Okay, I'm not that fucking good.
Right.
Well,
you're the Chris Van Vliet of Pittsburgh.
Oh,
yeah.
You know, wow.
Yeah,
that's that.
Take it.
I'll take that.
Works.
Wow.
Who else has been doing this as long as you have?
That's my testimonial.
Listen,
okay.
Sorg, I got to be honest with you. I mean, first of all, coming on this show is a nice way for me to say thank you to all the people in the wrestling community, the fans, the ones that I know are going to be watching this that I might not have had a chance to shake hands with or give a hug to on the way out. But more importantly, you know, I remember when you asked me to be on the Indie Mayhem show for the first time. And I remember it was we did the recording in your basement at your old house.
3 blocks away.
I remember I had on my gray and blue Air Lawless shirt because I've only been on the Indie Mayhem show 4 times. This will be my 4th time. I did yes, I did. Well, if I'm remembering correctly, okay, I did my first appearance when we were at your house, and that was right after I had made my debut at IWC. Right, because I think that was when you'd crossed the threshold of when you could actually go on the show as an indie wrestler. The second time I came on the show, no, I take it back, 5 times. Second time I came on the show was when Officer Dan and I did a appearance here in the studio.
Okay.
The third time was when we did a wrestling show at Four Court Music Festival 6.
Yep.
And I announced the card live on here. And then the 4th time would have been when Gianni and I came on to promote the Diamond Beach show that we did for 880 2 years ago.
I think you're forgetting one of them.
Which one am I forgetting?
The trademark episode.
Oh, did we do one remotely or did I come on?
I think you were remotely for that one because I think it was during COVID.
Yeah, okay.
That was the Matt Connard Reaper debacle with Sean Spears.
Yes.
But you hit, from what I can tell, you hit that. I think technically you might have been on the Rise podcast we ran for a moment on here. So
probably, yeah. I mean, in studio though, this is going to be my 5th time.
Well, I think LaMotta did that anyway. So, but we were like co-promoting it over here. So because as my search says, that podcast isn't around me.
And I've always been of the opinion, if someone's going to take the time to ask me to be on their show and talk to them, I'm going to say yes.
No, I really appreciate that because that's you don't know how hard it is for me to ask even people that I consider friends in wrestling because I know I'm asking for people's time.
Wow.
On a school night.
Sure. A school night's a good way of putting it.
Yes.
Yeah, it is a school night.
Which is like a legitimate thing because you don't know how many of these people are teachers, including our co-hosts.
Including myself coming up.
Yeah?
If anyone's interested in taking a college level course from Professor Max Petrunia, it'll be I'm teaching sports and entertainment law at La Roche University starting next week.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
But anyways, get back to let's talk more about you.
Oh, thank you.
Not about me.
Okay, great.
That's next week.
That's true.
Next week.
We make Sorg cry.
Next week, I've already been thinking about that too. And we'll talk about that later in the show. But the prep for that. But anyways, so first time I think I met you. Not met you, but at least saw you perform.
Yeah.
I think the earliest memory was seeing you in McKeesport.
Yep, at PWX.
It might have been the night that Ron Smiley was there with me with Matt Carlins.
Nice.
It might have been the Bubba the Bulldog match.
Me versus Bubba.
God, maybe.
Okay.
Because were you yelling at Ron Smiley?
I may have been.
That seems like a thing. God, I wish that place had fucking video.
There's about 2 years of my early career.
Yeah.
That is just in the ether.
Trust me, I was fucking looking for it when I was there.
There's maybe 2 matches that I have from PWX that have, I think one's on YouTube, and it was me versus Lee Moriarty the night he turned babyface. And I'd put that match up on YouTube so I could send it to Brandon Xavier at Mega to see if I could get booked there.
So at the time, you had a faction that was Lee, who confused me because he had like Japanese koji on his tights on his like butt flap thing that he wore at the time. So I'm trying to figure everybody out. I'm like, what the hell's their gimmick? What's their thing?
Sure.
Duke is the metahuman at the time. Was Gannon part of the faction too?
So let me rewind and tell you how that all came together because
like you understand, like I'm seeing the lawyer with forgive me, all of his black friends, and this is the faction. And I'm just like, I'm trying to piece this together and how it fits together.
It wasn't so the original faction. And it was crazy to me.
And I understand the booking in PWX and how
right.
it kind of goes. So,
but it was seeing everyone. So, for those that don't know out there, my last match was December 13th, 2025.
Yes.
John Cena stole my idea because my retirement was long ago in the making before his was. But I did my career versus my 880 career versus hardcore title at Thanksgiving. And that was my first retirement match in the series of matches. And I got to give that lovely speech after. But to see the connections of everyone that was in that ring. So just going through the history briefly. Marcus Mann and Jack Pollock worked at Cool Beans Coffee Shop in the basement of the Golf Tower where I worked my first legal job.
Yeah.
They were the ones that got me hooked up at PWX where I trained with Brandon Kay. I made my debut in professional wrestling as an in-ring performer on August 8th of 2015. Now, I had debuted the month before, 2 weeks before, cutting a promo at one of the PWX shows, but my actual first in-ring match was 8/8/2015, and that was against Kato. At that December show, so whatever PWX's big anniversary show is, we had made the big unveil of our faction, which was called The Order. Brandon Kay was the head.
Okay.
But it also included Crusher Hansen,
Okay.
Lee Moriarty, and Gannon Jones Jr. Now, the reveal came with a bunch of people in hooded sweatshirts jumping people in the main event. And then one of the people in the hooded sweatshirts was Lee Moriarty. So that was in November. December would have been Lee's debut match, which was a tag match with Gannon Jones Jr. as his tag team partner. And they won the PWX titles.
Okay.
Gannon, I can't remember how it was that the Order disbanded, but we had some injuries and or personal issues and or time constraints or booking availability that the Order started to come apart. But Lee wound up dislocating his shoulder. Then Duke shortly thereafter debuted as the bodyguard of the Order. So by the time you came and would have seen me for the first time in PWX, I may have been running the Order at that point because Kay also got a shoulder injury as well. So I may have actually been less than 6 months in the business, the head of this Order faction. For no explicable reason.
And that's how you got all the mic time to warm all that up, right?
I don't know. It's crazy to think about what it was that Quinn saw in me early in that time in my career to kind of shotgun me into these roles. But I mean, I also remember early at PWX, I had 3 titles at once.
Jeez.
I was the Futures champion, I was the television champion, and I was the Three Rivers champion.
I don't think I ever heard of the Futures one.
Well, the Future show was like the NXT version of PWX, where the younger talent were going to have their own show.
Gotcha. You
had the Futures Cup, and I remember
kind of like the Uprise concept that we were trying for a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I held 3 titles simultaneously at one time. And I early in my career, and I was really emotional. One person I was really emotional talking to on my way out was Gory, because Gory was the first indie wrestler I ever saw when I went to an indie show.
He's the reason I started going to indie shows.
Because I remember
Jason Gory is the gateway drug.
He is.
Yeah.
He is.
How about that?
Pollock and Marcus Mann told me about PWX.
Yeah.
And I decided I wanted to check out the product before I decided to go train there. And I'll never forget coming in. It was summer of 2014. And because I gave myself about 6 months to prepare for the tryout. I took it very seriously. Not to say people that try out in wrestling don't, but 30 years old. I'm an attorney. I'm not screwing around. Like I paid cash for all my training the first day I got there.
Yeah.
But I remember going to check out PWX, and I didn't know what to expect, right? I'd never been to an indie show. And I walk in, and I see Gory come out. He's got the red lights behind. He was wearing the gas mask at that time, takes it off, shoots the blood in the air, and I was like, holy shit, this is awesome. And I remember seeing Gory, and I was like, wow, this is insane. Like, it's really cool. I want to do this. And so I beat Gory for, I think I beat Gory for a title, or he challenged me for a title, and I wound up winning. And I had no business being in these matches this early in my career. And he was so patient with me. Him, like Raver, all these Matt Justice, like all these veterans at the time. And, you know, hugging Gory at Rise on my way out of there in December, man, it brought back memories of working with him early in my career and how thankful I was for just him.
Good.
In addition to everyone, I mean, you know, as we do a retrospective of my career, but yeah, so I think when we formally like met and shook hands and I kind of put two and two together, though, probably would have been shortly after I made my IWC debut. Because I think you were doing film work for IWC.
Yeah, it's either that or Rise.
No, this would have predated Rise.
Okay.
Because I remember, I think we had come up to a Night of the Superstars show.
Okay.
And you were doing all the taping and all the filming. And then I made my IWC debut probably a couple months after at the Beaver County show where Jamie did that moonsault off the balcony.
Yeah. I actually wasn't there for that. I think I sent cameras for that one.
Yeah.
So,
but I
that's where I think that's where chest flexor got the concussion. Took the boot.
Correct. And here's a little known story about that too. So you guys filmed those promos, which, you know, PWX, we didn't put out content. No one was filming anything. So I remember you put that promo out on IWC's Facebook page, and I paid to have that promo boosted. If anyone remembers, you could do that back in the day in Facebook. So I paid like $10 to boost that promo to friends and friends of friends. And I got an email that week from a producer at CBS that she lived in Pittsburgh. She was a talent agent for CBS. She asked me to try out for the Amazing Race. And I had basically everything finalized up until the point of us submitting the tryout video. And for one reason or another that I won't mention personally, it just didn't work out. But that was the year that the Amazing Race did athletes teams. So you had like competitive eaters, professional football players, basketball. I think they had women's basketball players on there. So she had called me. I thought it was a prank at first. And she had said, no, I'm friends with someone that I saw your promo online. I thought this guy can't be a real lawyer and a professional wrestler and have a wrestling character. And so it was just crazy. And from there, it was like, you never know what content's going to lead to.
Yep.
Or what some little thing you do to.
Yep.
is gonna work out. So yeah, it's been quite a decade, man.
Yeah, it's been very, very cool. Let's take a real quick. I want to get a quick ad break in here and remind everybody. A lot of David Lawless's career, thankfully, is on IndyWrestling.us. One-stop shop
Hell
for
yeah.
that.
Hell yeah.
I think some of those early matches in IWC are part of that. It is before you got the cowboy hat. I know that.
Yeah.
So we weren't part of that era. Rise Wrestling, of course. VCW, I think you were the West Virginia Athletic Commission at one point.
Sure.
That was a good time.
Yep.
So, and of course, 880 Wrestling, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some other promotions in there you were a part of because you're everywhere, man. RWA, of course, right?
Yeah.
So, and just anything else. I can't think of a promotion on there that you haven't been a part of that's not in like Indiana.
Right.
At this point.
Right.
So that gives you an idea. Let's say one of the most prolific wrestlers in the area.
Oh, thank you.
You know, you were everywhere, always never afraid that when he's getting the mic. Let's put it that way.
No.
So you did a lucha show across the street. You've been part of Enjoy Wrestling with our friends over there.
Yep.
So like that is we talk about. We always refer to this parking lot across the street from the studio where Sam Adonis did his first Pittsburgh area lucha show with fucking Ultimo Dragon and,
right.
And what was that Shocker that you
Shocker
had your
punched
confrontation with?
Ace Austin was on that show.
Yeah, that roster was crazy.
Gringo Loco was on that show.
Mm-hmm, the Base God.
Yeah.
And that was a precursor to Wrestle Rex.
Sure.
You know, what Sam Adonis has been doing with that. Some great, fantastic shows he's done in the area too. So that kind of brings me to another question. What is the weirdest place you've wrestled over your careir? Now that you've put a bookend on this.
Oh man. Weirdest place I've wrestled is if you take the no ring shows into account, it'd probably be the rooftop of a bar in Brooklyn for MV Young doing a no ring show during Fashion Week. Also, one of the coolest opportunities that I've
is
had
that the
too.
one with the promo you were talking to me about before?
No. So this one I wrestled Billy Dixon.
Okay.
It was Fashion Week, and there were 2 matches on a rooftop. It was really cool. It was a Fashion Week party. There was a fashion show, and there were 2 no-ring matches. So it went like there was a band, then there was a fashion show, then there was our match, then there was a band, and then there was a no-ring match. Just nuts. Just nuts. And that was at a point in my life, both personally and professionally and with wrestling, where I'd gotten out of a relationship, and I just started saying, you know what? I am not saying no to opportunities or experiences. And MV was at Rise. MV and I actually tagged together at Rise that show.
Yeah.
Little known fact in the annals of David Lawless lore. And I remember before he was like, "Hey man, would you want to come up to Brooklyn for a no ring show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it." And so that was February of 2020.
And I think a lot of times when we hear no ring, people think it's like those deathmatch shows.
Yeah,
but it really just is just wrestling. It's like a hardcore match that goes like out of the ring.
Yeah,
but there's just no ring to go back to.
In fact, the first time I ever wrestled Felix Cause, I wrestled him at Spirit Lounge for a benefit show for the father of a hardcore band member in December. Which, I guess that could dovetail into one thing. So weirdest place I've wrestled, probably Rooftop Bar, Brooklyn, or Prevention Point did a no-ring show there for Evil Ways.
Where's that at?
That is in East End, Squirrel Hill, Shady Side. It's in a back alley, in a back room. It was for Skullfest.
Okay. Not the basketball court up on Polish Hill.
That would be the weirdest place that I've wrestled.
That may be the weirdest place I've seen a wrestling show.
Yes,
because the Barbie mural was weird. They were just like all like bunch of naked Barbies like spray painted against a fence. It was weird.
Well, I remember I couldn't even figure out where that was.
No.
When I first pulled up.
Yeah. It's just a forgotten park. I think the city doesn't know exists.
And what's crazy to me is, like, I'm not a hardcore wrestler.
No.
In fact, in my career, I've never gigged once. The only time I've gotten color has been either by accident or when I let Grim skewer me in the cage. But I've never actually like gigged at all. Yet all these people would ask me to do these no-ring shows. And I think I'm seeing the same thing happen with some guy named John. And the reason is because if you have someone on your show that can fill time by cutting promos that are respectful but get heat at the same time, it's a good way to break up the violence. Because you can't just have...
That's a well-booked show.
Light tube.
Yeah.
You have to have something betwixt and between.
Yeah.
And probably, a testament to my ability to cut promos is one, my training as a trial lawyer. But man, I remember at PWX, we had a situation where the ring broke right before the show started, and I had to go out and cut 20 minutes of a promo as they figured out what we were going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember Quinn, exasperated, came out. There were no cues at this point, right? Because I'm just riffing for 20 minutes. Quinn comes out, his music hits, he rips the microphone from me. He goes, "Shut up, no one wants to hear you anymore. Also, every single match is false count anywhere, no disqualification." And that was it. Because literally one of the ring posts had come off. So the ring was like tilted. And it was like when Big Show and Lesnar broke the ring, and then you had Alberto Del Rio and Cena that had to wrestle the false count anywhere match in like the curve.
It's like kind of like, you ever seen the one where Rhino and Jason Bane broke the ring at Resolution?
I haven't, but I can
Yeah,
imagine it.
Got the same thing. It just like all went like bloop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Weird places, broken rings. Like, I think I've been lucky enough in my career without suffering any harm that I've also been able to experience those indie wrestling stories that you hear about. Like, oh, this will happen to you or this will happen to you. Like, yeah, I've wrestled before 8 people. Yes, I've wrestled in a ring that was broken. Yes, my shoelaces have snapped right before I want to go out. Early in my career, I had this shield that I would bring out. It was a bald eagle statue that was affixed to a wooden plaque. And I put these like hooks on the back of it, so it looked like Captain America's shield. And I would come out and I would like smack my gavel off of it. And we went up to Rockstar Pro in Dayton.
Love those guys.
Drove 5 hours to Dayton for no pay on a Friday night. And I remember when I made my debut there in one of their like Rumble matches, I come out, I've got my shield, I bang it, and the thing breaks. Like the porcelain eagle just went up in flames.
Yeah. Speaking of gimmicks and stuff, two things related to the gavel. One, I remember, I think the first time you were on here, we were talking about the giant gavel. It was the era of the giant gavel.
Yep.
You showed us the buybigthings.com website at the time.
Greatbigstuff.com.
Greatbigstuff.com. Does that still exist? Do you know?
I still get emails.
You still
from
get
them.
emails for that? Okay, there you go. I also remember when that broke off in the middle of a match.
Yep.
I remember the contention was, why does he have a gavel? He's not a judge.
Right. And I still get asked that question to this day.
Yes.
I guess in theory,
I think we're sitting there trying to figure it out one of the first times we saw you, probably the time we were talking about.
Who's to say my character wasn't a judge at some point?
We're aspiring to be a judge,
Correct.
right? Like that's the career path.
Correct. Yeah. That's
one
that's
day,
the top of the mountain. One day I will be Judge Gavel.
Judge Gavel.
Yeah.
Will be tremendous. You mentioned your match with Grimm, the Stage AE show for Enjoy. You had the cage match. One of the few times you bled.
Yeah.
I understand you had something important the next day or two.
Oh my God.
Your face was pretty messed up on that one.
I had
I've heard stories about this group through the grapevine.
I think
Swumba tells me all the time.
Yeah. we had a Zoom meeting. So I have the
At least it wasn't in front of a judge, right?
No, but I have the privilege of, I represent about 150 individuals who were victimized sexually as minors in schools around Pittsburgh. And we acquired all these cases through a large referral source in New York. And so I had a Zoom the next day with our referring attorney as we were just getting these cases off the ground, where I've got a black eye and I've got I've got skewer marks in my head. And I have to explain to these New York lawyers that I'm a professional wrestler and I was in a cage match, which was like my third match of the weekend, by the way. And I had to explain to them that I got punched in the face and that I got skewers to the head. And they're like, well, I thought you don't really hit each other. I'm like, well, theoretically you don't. But when this is a 3-year feud that's coming to a conclusion at the biggest venue we've ever performed in a cage.
Outside Heinz Field.
Right. You've got to go a little harder than the average bear. And, what made it worse was that next day was the first day we were setting up for Four Chord Music Festival 10, which was at the Cary Furnace. And if you know anything about the Cary Furnace, you have to do everything at that venue. So we were laying the bike rack in what would be the parking structure for Four Chord that next week. And that was also the hottest week in Pittsburgh history that week. So I'd just gotten obliterated in a cage on Sunday, and here I am on Monday out in a field throwing barricades up, and then I have to hop on a Zoom with people. So
yeah.
just,
is that your worst post wrestling in front of the day job kind of issue there?
that or the time I got the back of my head split open by Marshall Gambino.
Oh, I was there for that. I remember him giving me a look before that happened. I knew something bad was about to go down.
Well, it wasn't planned for my head to split open.
No, not that part, but I knew something. Listen, like when I know it's never the plan,
right?
But I also know Marshall.
I think that's why I got all the 2PW bookings, honestly. Was
You've been paying that.
Marshall,
he's been paying that off.
Marshall felt so bad about my head getting split open. But, I mean, that led to probably one of my favorite promo moments ever. Because my head got split open. Thankfully, I didn't have a concussion. I only had to get 3 staples in my head. It really was a superficial wound. And when people ask me, did you get hit in the back of the head with the chair? The short answer is no. Okay. What happened was the Marshall hit me perfectly in the back with the chair. When he came forward with the chair, though, the knob on the leg just nicked the back of my head.
Do you remember early AEW, Cody Rhodes and Shawn Spears had that happen? Because he came with the chair and he started bleeding. Everybody thought, oh, that's Shawn Spears is done,
right.
kind of thing. Yeah.
Right. And the
probably
thing,
the same thing.
Well, and the thing about your head is, and when you're engaged in any athletic activity and you have a bunch of blood rushing to your head, the littlest thing is going to cause it to bleed a ton. So, it's not like I felt anything on the back of my head when I sold out of the ring. I just thought he hit me. And then I had heard Jamie Jameson's cousin. We all know him. He sits in the front row. He's like, oh, he's bleeding. And I put my hand on the back of my head, and I'm like, I'm bleeding.
It's very similar. We all talk, Mikey, first time I saw Mikey Montgomery, he was in his tag team for a promotion in Cleveland. And he fell out, bumped his head on like the bottom of the guardrail, and started bleeding. Yep. Couldn't feel anything. I think he said he was fine and everything, but I think it was something very similar, right?
Yeah, and then so I was able to dovetail that into like probably my favorite promo at the time, which was where I did the fake retirement at Rise. And that led to I was starting that absent father storyline with Kay, where you trained me. Why don't you pay attention to me?
That's when you started running through all of his trainees, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
But that promo, I came out, and there was a lot of sincerity. There was real tears. And I remember, oh, man, we had the fans hooked. I remember Andrew DiNardo.
I think he had me hooked.
Oh, yeah, everyone. Andrew DiNardo was bawling in the front. I remember Bradley leading the thank you, Lawless chant. Like, people that hated my character were like, oh, no, this guy's actually retiring. And I had said in there, I have my own law practice to worry about. I can't put my life at risk. I told people I had a concussion, even though I didn't, because it was just a nick on the back of my head. And, man, they bought it hook, line, and sinker. That was probably one of the cooler moments in my career.
That was your Mark Henry salmon jacket moment.
Exactly.
Love it.
Exactly. But I mean, there's so many memorable moments in my career. So many fun promos I got a chance to cut.
So obviously, we'll give you a time here for you made your rounds.
Yeah.
I heard one of your retirement speeches. Did you give a retirement speech at each place?
No.
Rise, I don't think you did.
No, I gave a retirement speech at 880.
Yes.
And then I gave a retirement speech at Imagine, which, for those of you listening at home, my last match ever was against Kato at Imagine, and Kato was the first wrestler I ever wrestled in August of 2015. So how cool is it that I got to bookend my career with my first match against Cato and my last match ever against Cato.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable. I don't know many people that get to do that in their career, in life,
absolutely.
with storytelling.
Anything you want to say now that you have this platform for everybody to hear? And I'd love you to cap it with, what'd you learn in 10 years of your career?
Oh, my God. Well, what I want to say to everyone that's listening that hasn't had a chance to hear this or anything is thank you. I don't know that anyone knows how important professional wrestling has been in my life. And, I graduated college, went to law school, started practicing law in 2010, and began my wrestling career in 2015. Professional wrestling will always be the first thing I did by myself for myself. And what I mean is like, when I was going to school, obviously your parents are involved or your family and friends are involved. When you're learning the ropes, getting a job as an attorney, you're going through law school, like you have people kind of pushing you in that direction, supporting you. You need to learn your craft somewhere. You get your first job. Mm-hmm. But I had never done really anything that was purely for myself, that involved me. Found the school, paid for all the training myself, put the individual effort in to get ready to train, develop the character. And I'm not saying people didn't help me, my trainers didn't help me or anything, but like this was me.
The motivation purely was on your shoulders to get to the point that, say in wrestling, that anybody in wrestling could help you.
Correct.
There's a gap there.
Right. And then even like the character development, some of the story ideas and everything. Mm-hmm. It is a product of myself. It is, I had never really done anything for myself at that point. Mm-hmm. And it's the coolest thing I've ever done in my life in 10 years. Well, in 40 years, but in those 10 years, it's the coolest set of memories I'll ever have. The most authentic moments of my life performing for people and getting a chance to be someone that I'm not in my personal life. But, man, thank you is all I can really say to all the wrestlers, the trainers, the fans, the supporting cast, like yourself too, who, look, I don't know where life is going to take me, but I will always have the opportunity to go and show people this part of the journey of my life. Mm-hmm. And if it wasn't for IndyWrestling.us or people that were cataloging this journey, this would be lost. A lot of my early career is lost because the company in McKeesport either didn't record it or wouldn't give it to us, or mm-hmm. no one knows where it is. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's pretty incredible to think about how fast 10 years went by, how much I was able to do in those 10 years. What I would take away and what I would hope people learn is don't ever, ever, ever not try to do something you want to try. Mm-hmm. And don't ever let anyone tell you can't do it, or you can't at least try to do it. Do it for the right reasons. Put your heart and soul into it. And don't take yourself too seriously. I mean, there have been people that I've come across in this business that somehow think it's real. And look, I'm not saying wrestling doesn't have real contact, okay? But we are not really fighting each other at the end of the day. And whoever wins or loses a match doesn't really matter. If you can't get over in a match by losing or looking stupid, then you shouldn't be in this business. And even before we got on the air, Dutters was here, and we talked about a segment where Dutters booted me in the face. And what's funny is I remember moments in my career where I've done stuff where people either on the internet or behind my back have said that was going to be a bad move for my career. Mm-hmm. And wouldn't you know it, I weathered the storm. I continued to get booked everywhere I wanted to. Probably one of the few people in the area that would get booked at all these promotions because I was never difficult to deal with. I would always do what was asked of me. But like even when I lost the Rise Grand Championship to Ziggy Heim in the backyard at MV's, one of his first backyard shows, I'm sure there were people that were like, you lost to like a 95-pound girl at that time. Like, why would you ever do that? And it's like, why wouldn't I? Right? Like it was a cool moment. It helped the product. By the way, it's not real. It's a performance. So don't take yourself too seriously. I mean, when I think back at some of the stuff that I did in my wrestling career, it makes you appreciate professional wrestling so much more because of how absurd it is. But you got to go all in on it. You can't half-ass any of the stuff you do. And the best example I can think of that, I don't know how many people followed the Imagine product for the period this was going on, but, I'm the greatest attorney and professional wrestler in the world, the Gavel David Lawless. I tell people I'm smarter than them, I'm better than them. I win this King of the Mountain tournament, which, again, it's a trophy, right? And then all of a sudden, at the drop of a hat, I am for a year and a half King Lawless. I come out with a crown. I have a scepter with a gavel attached to it. And when I say go all in, you couldn't convince me at that point in that character that I wasn't the king. I remember studying like old Welsh terms to try to say that in my promos. And when people joined the king's court, it wasn't like this half in, half out. Like it was Lord LaRusso. He had a scepter and he had a robe. Monsignor Mambo. What was Danis's name? Or Alex Apollo. God, what would we call him? There was Monsignor Mambo, Lord LaRusso, there was King Lawless, and there was I don't think it was Admiral. But like I got him this chainmail like headpiece to wear. And we looked ridiculous, but it was awesome because we believed we were like old English kings.
Oh, yeah, and I alluded to it, and from a distance I've seen this because I haven't worked with these companies when you've been there. You teamed with LaRusso. God, LaRusso keeps coming up in this. Is this a lawyer connection or something?
Yeah, right.
Because you were teaming with like Jock Sampson, and I'm like, why are these guys all wearing cowboy hats? And then you brought Cowpoke Paul and Gianni into that somehow at Rise recently, and I'm just like, what is happening?
A lawyer shouldn't be wearing a cowboy hat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, and like shout out to there's so many people
the Italian strongman shouldn't be wearing a cowboy hat.
Exactly. There's so many people that have had like profound impacts on my career from what they've learned. Jock was someone, that was like a very formative time in my career at IWC. Yeah. And I mean, realistically, and I stand behind this 100%. That Regulators versus Team IWC match we did in October of 2020 during the pandemic, I would put that storytelling in that match against anything that wrestling companies were doing at that time. I think we had one of the hottest things going at that point, better than what WWE was putting out, whatever. And people can criticize, comment, whatever, but the story was really cool. But when they came up with this Regulators thing, Jock was like, I want you to look like the lawyer from Dallas. And I was like, and for me, when I was saying like, what did I learn? Right. It was don't say no. Like you can take matches and you can do stuff and you can put your own spin on it. Like some of the most fun I had doing promos were some of the most ridiculous things I ever did. So like I was saying recently, I forget who I was talking to about this. One of my most viewed promos this year was the one that I shot at Anytime Fitness with the two trainers there and me in a Dennis Rodman jersey. It was for the MV Street Fight. And it's me at Anytime Fitness working out in a Dennis Rodman jersey with two good-looking women where I have the manager of Anytime Fitness challenge MV to a street fight for me. That was my best view. What does that have to do with me being a lawyer? Absolutely nothing. but it was so much fun. And so
It means you could afford a gym membership.
Exactly. I remember there was a promo I did, and like, I'm going to look at True Prince of Pro because I know he has the gift for this and he can post it on Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
But I was wrestling a 4-way match, and it was me versus Pretty Boy Smooth, Ziggy Haim, and I forget who the fourth person was in that match. But I was doing this retrospective of what my opponents would be doing to get ready. And I remember at that time, Pretty Boy Smooth was doing the fade-ins on like the side of his head.
Mm-hmm.
So I went and got this greeting card that had a giant star in it, and I cut it out and I taped it to the side of my head. And I was pretending to be him calling the coroner, or like making fun of that. And then this is the point where Ziggy was doing the like crazy, like, you know, rebel youth.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went in my bathroom and took lipstick and put it all around my face. And then I looked at the camera and I just screamed. And I'm pretty sure I'm in a crop top for that. Like, it was just ridiculous stuff. And it's like things that it would be appalling for me to just put that on the internet as Max Petrunia, a lawyer. Yeah. But like, because remember when Ziggy did the name change and she put that video out of her in like she had the sports bra and she had her like bikini bottoms and she put the jacket on and it said Ziggy Haim and everything. So when I faced her in a match, I remember doing that where I jacked my underwear up and it was me putting a suit coat on and looking back at the camera like her. And it's like, I would have no reason to do this but for professional wrestling.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, you know, don't just be as ridiculous as possible. Like those no-ring shows we did, like I think Marco was like, I know it was his first no-ring show, but we did that show down at the shop. I'm pretty sure you were recording it, where he smashed my face into Honey Darling's chest 10 times.
Oh, yeah.
He put cock rings on his hands and punched me with them.
Yeah.
So that was absurd. I remember Kato said to me, because Kaz came up to Imagine and was working a couple shows. He was like, you know, guys, the internet's forever. And he was like, there's a video of you getting a kielbasa wrapped in barbed wire shoved down your throat. Mm-hmm. And it was like, I was always game for this ridiculous stuff because I could always figure out a way that would make it work for my character. Mm-hmm. So,
and you've always been, we always talk about like if you trip on a rope and you're a good guy, you're fucked. Mm-hmm. If you trip on a rope and you're a bad guy, great. Long as you work it, let's fucking go. It doesn't hurt you.
Yeah,
like you've embellished that. You've leaned into that hard.
Yeah,
in some cases, right, and that's what's led to all that. And again, I think that's what that makes somebody a utility. And again, I think we're seeing a couple of guys taking that on right now.
Yes,
Yeah. So
well, and that's the other thing I'm very proud about in my career is it seemed like wherever I worked, I was always one of those people that was the go-to on, hey, we have something that needs to be done. How can we fit this into your segment or your match? Hey, the ring's not working. Can you go cut a promo for 20 minutes? Hey, we have this idea that I got to tell this story. We told it off the podcast, but I got to tell this.
Sure.
2PW hosted a benefit show for a child that had cancer, which means that, of course, Dutters, who was our champion of defeating cancer herself, needed to be involved in the show. Mm-hmm. But she couldn't just come out and cut a promo to start the show. And again, I think Marshall called me the day of the show, right? I don't know how long this idea was cooked up.
We had more time on that, but it feels like it, yeah.
And Marshall was like, hey, how would you feel about cutting a promo on Dutters and running her down for having a cancer belt? I'm like, I guess. And how would you also feel taking a bump from her? She's not a trained wrestler, right?
No. PB Smooth did teach her how to step over the top rope, though.
Right.
Yeah.
And she knows how to put her foot up. So
yes.
We somehow took this concept and turned it into what I would think was a disrespectful, but as respectful as you could be in the moment segment that somehow ended with me attempting to punch a woman in the face and getting big booted. And here I am still standing, getting booked in the main event at different places. So, ladies and gentlemen watching, don't ever be afraid to say yes to the opportunity and what promoters ask you to do. But, I mean, it was cool. Like, I think that also gave me the opportunity when companies would bring in names. I seemed to be the person that they would ask to work with the names because they knew I was safe. I mean, let me give you the retrospective of the names I've had a chance to work with. And I'm not doing this to put a feather in my cap, but I'm going to give you the dichotomy of this. I got a chance to work with Fandango, okay, who is in probably better shape now than he was when he was in WWE.
And yet retiring.
Yeah. Can still work his ass off.
Yeah.
Could work with anyone, okay? I also got asked to work with Tony Atlas, who showed up to the show with a cane. Now,
love Tony.
Love Tony Atlas. You got to work with a legend.
Yeah.
Which sometimes when you work with the older individuals, there's limitations, right? Because we know what this does to our body. When your opponent is showing up with an assistive device to get into the ring, there's 5 minutes of me throwing myself around in that match. And he gets over, and I get over. So it's like you have to be flexible and malleable and kind of know your fundamentals. But it was nice to always be in that position and to be asked. And I take that as a sign of trust, a sign of my ability. It's really cool. I mean, I also got to work. I worked with Rhino. I worked with Scorpio. I worked with Shane Douglas. So I had a lot of cool opportunities in wrestling. I worked, I think Al Snow was one of the people that I got a chance to work with too. But, just to be in that spot, and there's some talent that I see coming up, especially ones through the 880 ranks that I would put as individuals that can do that. Some guy named John is one that I think he will get booked anywhere and everywhere for as long as he wants, because that man can cut promos.
Another guy that started later in his life too.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I think having emotional and intellectual maturity helps a lot because you don't get bogged down in what would be considered the bullshit that holds people back in your careers. But, man, we could talk for 5 hours if we wanted to do an entire career retrospective on everything.
Well, I think the perfect way to end this, thanks to T-Pop, is he sent me something on Twitter. And
I know what
we're going to show this. I don't have the audio hooked up, but we'll describe this as exactly what you talked about.
Yep.
We're going to retweet that from the Mayhem Show Twitter account right now. There you are in the crop top. You got
no tattoos yet.
No tattoos yet. No. Oh yeah, you're completely bare. Oh, the lipstick's going everywhere. Look at that go. This is for the guys on the video right now. And but again, go over to twitter.com/Mayhem Show, and we do have that retweeted from T-Pop there. That is the perfect way to put a button on your career, sir. Thank you so much. Like I said, you're one of the, always happy when I saw you on a card. Knew we were going to have some fun that night. I was worried when I bring people into wrestling, like Katie, but I was like, well, she's in good hands.
Well, yeah, and I mean, if I can let me just take 1 minute to sincerely thank everyone. I mean, I know I've said my thanks to you, and I really do appreciate what you and Missy have done for both myself and the business around here. I have to thank Brandon Kay for, giving me the first opportunity and being my trainer. Dean Radford, Crusher Hansen, Chris LaRusso, who I would consider. Brandon was my primary trainer, and then Chris, Dean, and Crusher peppered in and out with lessons and everything. Shout out to Quinn Magnum for booking me early in my career and putting me in that position. Shout out to Cato for my first match, and then everything that came at Imagine. Shout out to Brandon and the Clemens family for everything they've done with Rise. Shout out to IWC and Justin Plummer as well for the opportunities there. I have to give shouts to MV and being a part of the New York shows, the barbecue shows, just the people I've got a chance to work with through 880 and the people I got a chance to meet. the opportunity to help train people. I mean, that first class that was at 880 or T2T, Gannon, Jones Jr., and myself, along with MV, were the ones that really helped train them. And all those people that were in that finale match at 880 were in there for a reason, because, we had helped them early in their careers. I know I'm going to miss people, so I'll get yelled at for all of this, but I'm so thankful for everyone along the way, for the promotions that have booked me, the wrestlers that have trusted me with their bodies and their characters and their lives, for the people I've shared locker rooms with. I truly, Duke and Gannon are like two of my best friends that I've ever had in my life. Shout out to my training partner, Lee Moriarty, who made a surprise appearance at the Thanksgiving Bash. But really just, thanks to everyone for this journey, and it's been a dream. It really has. Will probably come back into wrestling in some capacity at some point. I am taking a little time to myself. And, if we want to talk about this for 5 minutes, we can talk about the reasons behind my retirement. But
we never even mentioned that, did we?
Yeah. So this had been brewing since May. I had a hernia in 2024. Oh, that's another thing I want to point out real quick in my career. I have never once not finished a match when I've been hurt. And I'll give you an example. I tore my ACL against Jack Pollock at 880 when we were in New Kensington during the Open Challenge for the 880 championship at the time. I went to do a leg drop off the second, landed, tore my ACL. We cut right to the part where I hit him with the belt, covered him. That was it. I still don't have an ACL in my left leg. So I took about 3 months off from there, came back into the ring. Taco Mania, when it was in the North Side, in September 1st, 2024. I just worked 3 matches that weekend. I had asked Enjoy, or I had told Enjoy, I think Pastor CeeLo and I would have a really good match. Oh, by the way, before I forget, shout out to Wes Fetty and VCW for all the opportunities too. Love Beastman. He's killing it in Japan, by the way.
Yes. I need to catch up with him.
And I don't know, many people know this one. So had wrestled, this was my 3rd match this weekend. Enjoy was doing a Taco Mania show in the north side in the park before the Green Day show. We're the 2nd match. Pastor CeeLo comes in. It's going to be me versus Pastor CeeLo. I go in the ring. I hit the rope. Hernia. Right away. As I'm doing my like Randy Orton testing the rope. Hernia. I push it back in. I lock up with him. I said, dude, I got a hernia. We're going to probably have to cut some stuff out of the match. Literally did a 5-6 minute match with him with a hernia. No one knew. Came out, went to the hospital, got diagnosed with a hernia.
Hospital's not very close to the park, at least.
Well, I was able to drive myself, thankfully. Yeah. So, and then recently when my arm went dead during one of the matches, still finished it, still had to assist myself. So, so what happened? I came back from my hernia surgery in December. I made my return at 880 in November when I helped Gianni win the title. Had my sting moment.
Yeah.
Came back after the hernia, which kept me out for about 2.5 months. Started having an issue with I thought was my shoulder. In May, I learned it was my neck. And I've been dealing with a neck injury from May until December. But I decided in May that I was going to go out on my own terms. So all of the stories that I did in my retirement tour were all booked out from May. So just to recap what happened, my last match at Enjoy, I wanted it to be against 2 of my best friends, Duke and Gannon. It was Billy Dixon and I. Got an opportunity to do that. And shout out to all the Enjoy crew, too, who gave me an opportunity to do the coolest things in my career. I didn't forget about them.
I think you presided over a wedding or something too.
I was the best man.
That's right. That's right.
For my best friend Billy Dixon's wedding.
For a wrestling wedding that made it into Out Sports. Congratulations.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Unbelievable. So did that match. My last match at 880 was against Reese, naturally, because that was my biggest rival. My last match at Pro Wrestling Conquest was against Jock Sampson, who came out of retirement to wrestle me one final time.
Nice.
In my retirement match. My last match with Brandon was with Brandon K, and then Tad Jarvis wound up beating me for the heavyweight title. And then my last match was against Kato.
I don't know if you know, but your match at Rise is the story hook for the Bradley Alone holiday special we did a couple weeks ago.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, go take a watch. There's some more details I cut out of it, but like it's you'll see, like it's about him being mad about how that match turned out.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And then antics. Chest Flexor shows up and antics happen.
Well, anytime Chest Flexor's involved. And by the way, some of the most ridiculous matches I've been in have had Chest Flexor surrounded. But you know, it's funny too, because I'm at peace with the decision to step away from the ring, because we were kind of running out of things for David Lawless to do. I mean, at both Imagine and Rise Wrestling, I was somehow part owner of both companies. And so my retirement matches involved me putting my ownership of the company on there and then getting fired.
It sounds like bad business.
Well, yeah, it was, you know, and I don't know why people keep trusting the gavel David Lawless, but if I forgot anyone, I'm so sorry. I think I hit most of the promoters and people along the way. I just the opportunity to come here in the new year and talk to you too about this as well. So we'll see how I appear back in wrestling at some point. Maybe I'm a commissioner somewhere, general manager, an owner, or a lawyer.
You know, when I heard you're retiring, going into even I think at the 880 show, I know he says like he's gonna be near a ring with a mic in his hand, you know, sooner than later.
At some point,
I think that's inevitable. Somebody's gonna ask you to do something, you know. So, but real quick, I want to try to make you cry. From the chat room, Dean Rafford just dropped in and said, "Arigato, Lawless." All right.
Thank you, Dean.
Let's see. This is the part where you sent me a clip. Great to see the gavel from Tondera out there. David Lawless has been a fan favorite of me and my whole family, but more specifically, was always my mom's favorite wrestler, says T-Pop.
Oh, my God.
And I just wanted to thank him for always bringing her so much joy whenever she would go to shows.
Well, and T-Pop's mom, I think she had one of my business cards get caught in her cast at some point. When the cast got cut off, they found it. Toddy.
What?
Toddy. So first of all, T-Pop, thank you so much for everything you've done for the business around here. Toddy, pretty sure at the first Enjoy show at Smalls, Toddy was there as a fan, and I yelled at Toddy and said that Toddy looked like they had a giant eagle bag on. Because Toddy just had a tank top on that was white and had some red lettering on it, and I said it looked like a giant eagle
Wait, what
bag.
show was that?
I think it was one of the first Enjoy shows at Smalls.
Okay.
And Toddy was just a fan in the crowd, and I yelled at Toddy that they looked like they had a giant eagle bag. I remember I also, who is Not That Dawn on Instagram at the first Enjoy show that they did, that like multi-show taping. I remember yelling at Dawn, "You look like Greg Valentine ate Greg Valentine."
Jesus.
That was a fun little
Jim LaMotta just dropped in, and he has had so many words about you I've heard on commentary over the years. If you listen to Jim LaMotta's commentary over Rise, VCW, or wherever else that you guys have been connected, it just like there's this turn that happens.
I think Jim's favorite go-to is, "The man gives me hives just seeing him."
Lawless is a menace, but Max is truly a good guy.
Well, Jim, I've loved the rivalry that Jim and I have had on social media, where everyone thinks we hate each other's guts.
Yes.
Yeah. I think at one point, I can't remember who interjected and was like, I think it was Hank Hudson, that was like, "I can't believe you would say these things about Max Petrunia, Jim LaMotta."
We'll just let Hank have that.
Yeah.
The most elite Austin Carnes says, "Thank you, Lawless. All the love for Gavel."
Oh my God. Thank you, Austin.
And he just showed up
I know.
out of nowhere.
It's amazing.
It's everywhere. He might have you beat for places by the end of the year. The
Well,
way he's going.
But that's another example of someone
My
that
God.
doesn't say no to anything, is well prepared, and
No.
just wants to do it.
Yeah. So, anyways, guys, thank you so much. It just made the most sense for you to be the first one we talked to this year, and I even put you in front of our anniversary.
It's amazing, and I mean, congratulations,
which is
to you
technically
too, Sword.
today, by the way. I think now I think about it. So,
Congratulations,
Thank you.
and I mean, congratulations to you on what you've done for wrestling in this area. I still think Thursday Night Fights is, even though when MV first asked me about it, I thought, I don't know, this seems like it's going to be tough. It's been amazing. And I will remember, there's only been a couple times in my career that I've pulled rank where I've been like, no, I'm the vet. Like, this is what's happening. And I remember when going through and looking at some of those first Thursday Night Fight shows and seeing there were like 8 people in the crowd, or those first couple shows in New Kensington where we were wrestling in the street fairs and I was wrestling Keith Hott 4 times in an afternoon. Keith Hott, I've had Keith Hott's ass in my face more times than any woman in my life. Second only to Tyler Klein. But, I remember seeing some of those clips and I'm like, look, I don't want to pull the vet card many times, but at 880, I know y'all might not know me from like, who's this guy that comes in and gets to be in matches when he wants to choose, but y'all remember the days we were in New Kensington wrestling before the Tupac family and 5 trainees on Thursday Night Fights. So, but it was really fun to be part of that process too.
Yeah.
And see it grow.
I'd say it's one of the things, like, I think it's one of the coolest things. The stuff I've done, and I think it's one of the coolest things I've been a part of.
Yeah, it's great, and you never know who's going to pop up. I think don't we have an announcement coming up about?
We do right after this break here, but I think last comments, and then we'll go to break. I swear.
Sounds good.
I don't know how to wrap this because Eamon Payton has dropped in and said thank you, Lawless, for everything. Virginia Savage, we will miss the Hammer guy.
Oh yeah, she was an early adopter of being a Gavel fan at PWX. Yeah,
there you go. So no, I think you'll be, and then now we got to put together a best of for you.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. Hey, we're like I said. Oh, what's that, Riz? Your mic's okay. What?
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay, good. One memory I have, and then we can go. A couple, I think it was 2 years ago, I get a text message from Sword. And he starts talking to me about, he says, he shows me the text message that he got from you, saying that, talking about the pit fight match, where you were facing RJ Booker and kept calling him TJ Hooker.
Yes.
And the camera guy kept laughing. I mean, like, I was looking at it, yeah, that was, I mean, I just stood there, I'm like, oh God, that's me. Like,
I still, when I see RJ, because he lives around my neighborhood, I scream TJ Hooker.
Yes.
Which, again, just goes to show the absurdity. RJ Booker is nowhere close to TJ Hooker.
No.
They're not even in the same realm of people.
Yes.
That's how, but that just goes to show, no matter how stupid something is, if you say it with confidence.
Jim Watt come back around with the best of Lawless will be 2.5 minutes.
It will give him hives for those 2.5 minutes.
It's every time you got laid out by Shocker, Dutters, etc.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
Let's do that. We'll see. If one of my interns wants to get on that, we'll do that.
By the way, surreal moment too. The Gavel David Lawless, I think, got T-Ranchel at a sprint for the first time in his life. When we were wrestling at, this is the last story I promised. We were wrestling at Brawl Under the Bridge. It was me and Officer Dan versus Sam Adonis and T. Ranchula.
Okay.
And
what a tag team match.
It's
Holy shit.
insane. And so we had 2 spots where we were going out of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. The first spot was where I was going to go and the mayor was going to hold me and T was going to chop me. And then the second was going to be when he hit me with the nachos.
Uh-huh.
Well, for whatever reason, T crossed the spots up.
This is the Mayor Homestead, by the way. Right?
Correct.
Yes.
Who was like 90 at the time.
Yeah. Oh, my God.
So T crosses the spots up, and at some point, he gets the nachos.
Mm-hmm.
And he hits me with one thing of nachos,
Mm-hmm.
which was bad enough because the cheese is hot and there's
Oh,
jalapenos in it, too.
I've heard.
So he hits me with the nachos, and I think, well, that's it. So I start selling over to the other side of the ring. And I guess T wanted more. So he grabs another nacho and sprints over. Full sprints over just to lop me in the head. So I got T. Ranchula to sprint, too. I'll take that as a feather in my cap.
There you go. Thank you for that. Thank you for everything, David Lawless. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to talk about me making some bad decisions here and a big announcement. So
Can't wait.
We'll be right back after this.
Sidekick Media Services. We are your sidekick in business for social media, video production, and more. Find out more at sidekickmediaservices.com.
I'm Eamon.
I'm Merlin.
And we're a gay.
And his NB.
Are you a reality television connoisseur?
Do you like it discussed from an LGBTQ lens?
If so, A Gay and His NB is the podcast for you.
Hear us break down all your favorite guilty pleasure reality shows from Bravo, Drag Race, and just about everything in between.
Listen to A Gay and His NB on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
We are back, Wrestling Mayhem show. The Riz is still here and still hanging with us is the Gavel, David Lawless, finding more videos of his bad decisions from over his wrestling career.
Horrible decisions.
Like the last one you found, you said, "I'm not sending this to you."
No.
Yeah, let's adjust. The couch is eating you, so let's just adjust for you right now. So, anyways,
I look like a millennial. I'm scrolling on my phone.
Yeah. Now you really fit in now.
Yeah.
Our 20th anniversary of the Wrestling Mayhem show. Oh my God, is happening next week. Riz, are you okay over there? I just saw your face. Huh?
I'm here.
You're here. You're still here. You're still here.
Ready for it.
You've been around for a good majority of those 20 years.
Again, for some reason, you guys like hearing me. You like hearing me talk.
I think you have something
I
to
don't know
contribute. I like your opinions when your microphone works. So we are partnering with our friends where we do Thursday night fights, and we're doing something special next Tuesday. Let me clear up some confusion there, because I have not. I always said if I do a wrestling show, it's going to be not typical. And I think I'm landing that pretty good right now.
Good.
This is not a podcast we're doing next Tuesday. We will not be in the studio. Don't show up. What I'd like you to do is show up to the Warehouse in Allentown So it was 820. Oh, sorry, in front of me. 829 Industry Way. It's where we hang out every Thursday night for Thursday night fights. It's the same venue, the same ring, the same space. And we are going to have a pro wrestling celebration is what I'm calling it. What that means is there will be wrestling matches. We're going to kick off 8 o'clock. 880 is going to present their happy hour tapings. We're going to have a few matches from them. Off air, it's not going to be streaming because they record that for their Patreon. So we're going to warm them. You guys going to, if you've never been down there, he's going to feature some young talent. A lot of times, some kids that we've not put on Thursdays yet. And you get kind of a little view of what's going on, as far as that goes. And honestly, like some of these kids are coming out of the gate pretty fucking hot. So you never know who's going to be like popping up. And then we're going to start at 9 o'clock like we do every week here, more or less. But it's going to be something a little different. It is going to be a pro wrestling show. The plan, I can tell you that we are planning to have 4 matches. And there will be some other shenanigans. We'll put it that way, right? So,
Sure.
Some old hosts are going to come back. Some other things are going to happen. Some people, I'm hoping, will have a little bit of a redemption arc. We're going to give some people a second chance of some things that have happened around the show. We can talk about that in a moment, Riz. I know I haven't announced that yet. But we'll get to that in a moment. So first of all, you may have already seen, we have announced the first match on this card, and that is from our friends at Top Rope Tabletop, and they are having a tabletop rules match. So it's going to be Team SideQuest of Keith Hott and the Unwilting Tatiana against, let's see, we dubbed them the Sassy Sonic Connection of Tyler Klein and Mikey Montgomery. Now, I think the only thing we can tell you that we know of this match is Team SideQuest did have a match against each other that did involve elements of Dungeons and Dragons and dice. So that's a starting point if you find that on the YouTube. I don't know if we've clipped that one out yet or anything. Maybe we'll look that up as a precursor to this. And just like, guys, have fun. Get out your aggression from the campaign, whatever it's going to be. We may or may not have some involvement, depending on schedule, with Tony Kincaid and Justin Idol, who is also part of that show. Oh, cool. Also, they also have a session that's coming up next Friday after this. So, hey, cross promotion, right? The other thing that you may have seen, we do have a Patreon manager, and we take that very seriously on the show. And it was in the preview, so I will go ahead and announce here. This has happened accidentally in the past, as we have storied. But we are going to give Bradley... We're going to give Bradley a microphone and let him get in the ring.
No.
He just said he has something to say. So I say, okay, Bradley, you're going to get in the ring. We're going to give you a microphone, and we're going to see what happens.
No.
So listen, we're about opportunities here on the show, and I love that that's when Riz has cued this. I don't know if this is related. I don't know what the plan is. He won't tell me what he's going to say. He just says he has something to say. So we're going to...
Giving Bradley a live mic.
This is why I like you here, because you can tell me where my liabilities are unofficially as a lawyer.
First of all, what does he have on his rider? Like, what's going to be in that green room? A couple Mike's Hard Lemonades.
Oh, shit. I should probably have contracts, huh?
I love the concept of giving Bradley a live mic.
Yes, in a wrestling ring in front of fans.
I have no idea what that man would say.
No, me neither. I'm a little worried about it.
Fans that know Bradley.
What's that?
Like fans that know Bradley.
Yes, exactly,
well.
Right.
exactly. So, God, I think we're going to be able to thank Bradley for the house that night because
he's like the local version of the Brock Lesnar guy.
Oh my God. Let's see. Hold on a second. What is this? Jim LaMotta, Bradley Ruthers has less mobility than me.
Jim's always good for a joke, for an ADA joke like that.
Oh my God. Okay. Anyways, where am I? Let's see. Where are we?
Apparently you have another match to.
I have another match. Oh yeah. Well, I do have to mention that we do have our official referee for the evening for our part of the show is referee George Ross.
Like how you used the picture of him with the black glove on too.
It was the most. Yeah. You don't know how dangerous that tabletop match is going to get. Have you stepped on dice?
Oh my God.
Right?
That's true.
D4s
Especially
are-
those like 40-sided dice that they have for
exactly.
D&D. Yeah.
Exactly. Was that Riz?
I was going to say that the D4s are painful.
Yes. And the other match, the announced tonight, this is going to be our main event.
Uh-oh.
We had there's a great idea that came up, and we talked to a promotion around here that we work with at IndyWrestling.us, who also have something coming up very soon. So for the first time ever, outside of their yearly show, I think of any of their championships, if I'm not mistaken from what I was saying, and I'm hoping they're going to be here to represent as well in person if they're able to. But we are announcing our main event is going to be for the Pit Fight Tag Team Championship.
Whoa.
Shit.
And it's going to be Flippin' Ain't Easy
Oh, my.
against the Fourth Line.
Whoa. That's awesome.
I don't believe, this Flippin' Ain't Easy reunited last March at Pit Fight.
Did you get that picture of Gory when I first saw him in 2014?
We should find that too, right? Listen, I wanted, when I knew I wanted Gory and Facade involved.
Sure.
And I at the time, I didn't know if it was one-on-one or a tag team. I love the idea of doing a tag team. I was trying to think of something that we haven't seen.
Yeah.
And again, like Flippin' Ain't Easy hasn't been a tag team for a long time, other than last year. And like what, who can we showcase? And Fourth Line has been killing it. I don't know how many belts they've collected between the two of
Dude,
them right now.
That
So-
tag match is going to be awesome.
Yes, absolutely. So,
I'm a huge fan of all four of the people in that match. Huge Fourth Line fan, as they know. I was an honorary member of the Fourth Line at one point.
you got a jersey and everything, right?
I was the center, dude. I got to come out in a jersey. I made a cool hockey mask in honor of Brandon and KC, which I gifted to Aaron Wood's son, actually, that night, because he has a big horror mask collection.
Excellent.
But man, that match is gonna slap.
Excellent. Yeah, that's and we have two more matches. I can say I'm still kind of trying to figure out the fourth one. I told you.
You sound like a real wrestling booker.
Yeah. Like it's a week out. I'm still booking it.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I had a point for today and was like, oh, do I have to figure out who wins these?
Wow.
You know what?
Just have them. They all get to roll the dice.
I honestly, yeah, they all get the six-sided die, and we just roll with it. Like that's how you know what? That's an idea to book a show. So that's do it. You haven't heard the other crazy ideas I have for shows. So, like I said, it's going to be special guests. We've already received some messages from some past guests. I told you off air who we have lined up already. So, and if you are not able to be there in person and would like to submit a video for us to play on the show or social media for consideration, please send it to the goodtimes@wrestlingmayhemshow.com. It works. I double checked. Riz, how's that go? Oh, his microphone's not. Wait.
My microphone's bad again.
Good times at WrestlingMayhemShow.com is how we always used to do it. Or social media, just hit me up on the DMs and then we'll get connected there. So make sure if I'm responding to you, I haven't seen it. Make sure that's a thing too, because we have a lot of social medias.
Keep messaging Sorg.
Are hot dogs cooking or are they cold, Sorg? What?
Wait, who said that?
That was Podner.
Depends.
That was Podner. No.
Podner gets a cold one.
I've only seen people paid in hot dogs literally once, and it was in West Virginia. And so, yeah, we have some other amounts. I will tease something. Riz, I don't know if you've agreed to this yet necessarily. But Riz, have you seen the interview that Riz did several years ago with Dalton Castle in RJ City? We just recently reposted it.
No.
You haven't seen this? Well, it doesn't. Listen. When I ran into RJ City a couple years ago, WrestleMania weekend, he asked about Riz.
Nice.
First of all, they share a birthday. I don't know if you know this. So you share RJ and
I did not know that Riz was as famous as he is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You wouldn't know. I don't know why Riz didn't get a Hey EW episode, but you know that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
But so there was an interview because I had this idea. I'm always busy. All these people are at like other wrestling shows, you know. So I was like, Riz, you're the ones here. Missy, I'm going to give a camera, and could you please interview some people? And in this show, this same night, like he interviewed like Shane Taylor, which got us in trouble. What?
I didn't really interview Shane Taylor.
All I know is we got in trouble for it.
We got in trouble for interviewing.
Because it was goofy and he was like a badass heel at the time, and the promoter got really mad at us. So, and him, I presume. And
talk to Bobby Fish, your favorite wrestler.
You did. Oh, I forgot about that and just never reposted. You also had a dual interview with the visiting. What are they named? Somebody named Mark Andrews and Pete Dunne. Yeah, when those little. Those kids that nobody knew from that had funny accents. I wonder where they went. So, I'm sure one's in hiding somewhere in Mexico. Anyways, so Riz, I decided everybody gets an opportunity. You see, Bradley's getting an opportunity on this show.
Bradley's getting an opportunity because he's a manager level sort.
Okay, he's got a little bit of leverage, but I didn't have to let him in the ring with a microphone. I could have had him pre-record something, but we were going to let this happen. Where I'm always about giving people opportunities to flourish. Okay, so Riz is going to conduct an interview in the ring. Should I tell him who?
Wait, first of all, Riz is going to be there in person.
Yes.
I'm going
Huge.
to be there in person.
Yes.
Huge, monumental in and of itself.
Yes.
Huge.
Monumental moment in and of itself.
Yes. Riz, the Mayhem show commercial with him and Matt Carlin's in a ring is shot in the same location.
Well, I remember when we were doing that Fight Underground stuff.
Yeah, that's right. You might be in the background of that video.
And then we were doing those interviews at that the round tables the Jim would sit us down.
Yeah.
Where you would be against your opponent. I think Wes ran me off of it or whatever. Husama Husk was said a lot. So.
Yeah, it was. It was. Too bad that wasn't the interview. For a second, I did consider having Riz interview Beastman.
Oh, my God.
Right? That was almost the thing that happened. It could still happen, honestly.
It's a good idea.
I mean, he can't even keep himself under control during his own Rumble. So
who is Riz going to interview, by the way?
It's going to be the tallest gentleman in 880 wrestling.
What, Sorg? Do you know how tall I am?
That was coincidental. We can give you a apple box or something like they did with Renee.
Okay, keep going.
It's going to be Dev Swayze,
nice,
and Big Jim Fridge,
nice,
the Department of Jocks. I figure they're young, they're inexperienced. I think Riz, you can handle this. I want a good, solid interview. You can even ask the vegetable question if you want from back in the day.
I'm going to ask I have to ask the vegetable question.
Okay.
That's what the question I tried to ask Dalton Castle and RJ City.
You did, and that's why he calls you a potato.
I'm a potato.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's going to happen. There's a couple other things we're going to do. But it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun, or it's going to be terrible. But I think it's going to be fun.
I think the line, what is it? The line between sane and insane or normal and crazy is, very thin. So the line between awesome and not awesome is.
Ponder says it's a reverse stutter situation.
It is going to be the reverse stutter situation.
It kind of is. So, Megan says she's going to be there, and she still watches TJ Hooker.
Is that Megan Nelson? Of course it is. Yeah.
Yes. The breakaway star of Bradley Alone. So that's happening. And I'm sure we will come back the next Tuesday, and I'll tell you all about how everything really did go. So regardless, we'll be live streaming, of course, on this and IndyWrestling.us.
The good thing is T-Pop will probably have gifts made for whatever craziness happens too. So should Riz...
I'm gonna be gift by T-Pop.
That's how.
I hope so.
Remember how I said when I got asked to be on the Indie Mayhem show, I was very honored. I was like, it's a level of legitimacy to your career in Pittsburgh wrestling. You get gift by T-Pop, you've made it.
If you're listening, if you catch this later, again, fan of the show, wrestler, anybody, I tried to think of the most thing. I'm starting to time out the show, and I'm like, I already feel like I have too much stuff for 4 matches and the stuff around it. But I just think of what was the most entertaining thing we can do that's not too over the top. But we'll see how that goes, So, and I am going to be hosting / ring announcing.
Great.
I guess, because I'm like, I thought about it. I was like, well, I can't hide behind the production. So we're going to put Missy back there and have her run the show. So, and we'll have, some videos, some highlights, I think, if I get them together in time. If anybody wants to help me with those.
You going to wear a tux?
No. You know what I'm going to wear? My sweet Wrestling Mayhem show jacket that Team Hammerfist put together to us last year.
You're giving away all the. Why are you giving this away? I wanted to see the 7 to 8 o'clock red carpet for the Wrestling Mayhem show.
Oh man, I'm not in charge of producing that. If anybody wants to put that together, we can do that.
Then the 8 to 9, you've got the pre-show, which is like the lead in to the 9 to 11.
We'll put a desk right in front of Grim Wizard Coffee. That's it. The pre-show's at the Bottle Rocket.
Think about all this content you're missing out on.
Oh my God, man!
Do you imagine doing a red carpet show for the Indie Mayhem anniversary?
I figures I got the guy behind Four Chords Festival in here before this to tell me all these ideas.
I'm just the lawyer. That my best friend's the brains behind Four Chords.
I was like, I need to talk and make sure I know how the lights work. I don't know if Woods is going to be there. So.
Oh my God.
Yeah, like I'm thinking, like I'm working on the rest of the logistics. So, which is funny. I had the Violent Gentleman in studio last night for another recording, and we talked about he did 2 shows, and what were the Wrestle Pits.
Yeah.
And we're just like, yep, I know how you guys were. I know. I've watched Sam Adonis curse himself every show that I worked with him, and all like everybody, I know what it's going to be.
Yep.
I'm going to be like, why the fuck am I doing this? Mm-hmm. So, but yeah, I've always wanted to try something like this, of a nature, and it just seemed to, it's all about this last couple of months about how to pull it together, and it made sense. A thank you to Indie Wrestling MV Young for helping us with the venue and allowing us to try something really crazy. I think they're still having class before our so the ring will be well warmed up, by the way, for Riz to get in there and bump around.
Class during the red carpet show.
Class during this. That is the red carpet show. Is the training class. Yeah,
Love
exactly.
Love it.
So we'll do it with them training in the background.
Yes,
it'll be great. I mean, that seems like the right nature. So, yeah, those are most of the bad ideas. Oh, Toddy Tundera and Eamon Payton are going to be on commentary.
Great duo. Duo.
Well, Eamon makes the most sense because of God, he was listening to the show as a 14
fan.
He's WrestleFan 2000 from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Wow.
And now look at him.
Yep. And now look at him.
He was Canadian at one point.
We did think no, that was Mad Mike. We thought was Canadian. We thought he was a Canadian. We were really bad at email back then. So
wait, was it Mad Mike we thought was Canadian?
I feel like whoa, what happened to your camera? Oh, that's
whoa.
Why is this right on my face?
So that's why somebody else. I gotta figure out who the camera people are because somebody has a medical procedure that day I was going to use.
Oh God.
The usual things. The booking issues.
It sounds like running any type of wrestling show, Sorg. So welcome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of me staffing anything to begin with. So
I ran a wrestling. I'll leave on one funny story too. I ran a wrestling show one time at Four Chord Music Festival.
Yes,
and I certainly got bitched at enough for the people I didn't book. But the best part about it.
Oh, I'm waiting for those messages.
The best part about it was this was the first year that Four Chord Music Festival was at Highmark Stadium. Mm-hmm. So we'd gone from like a 1,500 cap venue to outdoor in the parking lot of Highmark with 5,000 to 7,000 people. First time we're doing wrestling. I've got all these people coming with wrestling, getting them paid, getting them to sign the waivers, and I have to wrestle a match. Mm-hmm. We had only got a chance to start building out Four Chord at 11 p.m. the night before, so I hadn't slept. And then at 11:45, with the doors opening at noon and us getting ready to wrestle, I get a call from my best friend. Hey, I need you in the office right now. This is serious. The Offspring, the headlining band, just canceled. So we had to figure out how to do damage control. Nightmare. Good luck. Good luck to you.
Well, I don't have as much writing on this one, thankfully. So, as I just, yeah.
Wait till Bradley cancels because he's had too many Mike's Hards.
I'll wait for that. Yeah.
Bradley
exactly.
Again,
we'll have some more announcements. I got one more match I'm really, really looking forward to. I think it's a first-time matchup, at least. Yeah. It's gonna. I think it's gonna be a first time matchup, at least of these this version of some people.
Cool.
Yeah, and we're gonna see who else we can feature here to fill in that last match. And I have some ideas, and I need to talk to some people, and we'll see how it goes. So, and plus,
you're going to do great, Sorg.
I'm sure it'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Just fine. So, and I'm very excited. We have some original co-hosts coming back that have not been seen on this show for a long time.
Wow.
So, and also I know, obviously Mad Mike is busy up in New York with the kid and the job. So we can't get a lot of people there out of town. So, this is going to be a very Pittsburgh focused thing. I actually did have this, somebody did ask to be on the show. And I said, no, this is not going to be worth you driving into Pittsburgh. We're keeping it local, kind of thing. As much as I appreciate it. So, yeah. So, and I'm going to stop talking about it before I give more away, because apparently I already screwed up by not telling them I'm not having a tux.
Right.
So thank you for that. Maybe, yeah, but I didn't tell you if I'm going to wear pants.
I guess you're going to have to tune in and find out.
There you go. Tune in, find out. There you go.
Sorg,
That's right.
Sorg. Just saying.
That's more of a we've left the
saying.
fans on more of a cliffhanger than WWE did last night with Raw.
That's true. That's true. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. Real quick, shout out to our friends feeding our guests here for long time. Slice on Broadway.
Award-winning pizza.
Who I think also celebrated their 20th anniversary this week. So many places that aren't even listed there because I can't catch up. I just come across it. I had Derek Dillinger sent me a picture of Slice on Broadway the other day. I don't even know what the location was.
There's
I have no idea.
There's one right in Shadyside. Well, you guys that aren't from the area call it East End, but yeah, it's right in Shadyside. I walked past it, so
I think that's Riz's favorite one. So thank you to them
is.
for supporting this show. They feed us, so I don't have to worry about figuring out how. Because if anybody see me on show day, I don't eat usually. So that's usually I will hire somebody to make sure people don't ask me stupid questions during the show, and to make sure I eat. So and to help out wherever they can lend a hand. Like that is a position in my productions now. So I guess that's called a PA, maybe. I don't know. But guys, real quick, what did you learn from wrestling this week? I can tell you that I learned that man, when you're the president of your own company, you get a fucking chariot to go around a baseball stadium for your retirement. So I see comparisons, like see the difference, like Cena's like exit versus Tanahashi's, and I'm just like, yo, he's the president of the company. I think he can do whatever the fuck he wants, except have Nakamura be there.
Well, and if Cena wanted a chariot, he probably would have gotten it. If they would have asked. What did I learn from wrestling this week? I'm going to say two things. One, personally, wrestling's the coolest thing ever. Keep supporting indie wrestling. Two, for WWE, we learned that on their way to shipping things to the house of Netflix in Philadelphia, if WWE has a show, they're just going to drop the shit off right in the entranceway. So stay tuned for the Wednesday Addams version of Monday Night Raw.
Season 3's coming up, baby.
That's right.
Oh man, but Netflix probably think that went great, and they're completely going to do that. I can't wait for.
What would be the most ridiculous Netflix show they could do a crossover with?
Oh, I got to figure out what.
The Hunting Wives.
Ooh.
I think it's like they have so much stuff. I gotta be like, Katie, what are the rom-com shows that you're watching?
Wait a second. And I want to end on this, and then I want to hear what Riz learned this week. We are finally at a point in this timeline where Brendan Dassey of Making a Murderer fame. Do you remember the hit crime documentary about the guy that allegedly murdered that woman in Wisconsin?
If they do that spinoff,
Brendan Dassey, who wanted to get out of prison so he could watch WrestleMania, we're finally in a position where Netflix can bring together Brendan Dassey, the breakout star of Making a Murderer, with WWE.
I think the real crossover is you're going to have 50 Cent show up and tell us how bad P. Diddy was at WrestleMania 29, which was legitimately my pee break during that show.
I can't watch. I've watched that Diddy documentary twice, and I might watch it a third time.
Oh, are you serious? Is it that good?
Duke Davis and I are huge. We're in on the Diddy stuff.
Oh, my God.
It's great.
Oh, my God.
But yeah, Riz knows what I'm talking about. We get the Brendan Dassey and WWE crossover. The world, I think that might be the last day the world ever exists.
That's it. That's all you need.
Fantastic. Tina says that I took hers, but I will say that pour one out for Bullet Club. Bullet Club disbanded effectively, became a new, I think they're called Unsanctioned, is the group.
Looks like all those Bullet Club shirts I own just went up in value.
There you go, I guess. So so there's that. So RIP Bullet Club.
Fun fact, the background of my personal, professional, literally own my own firm computer is still all the Bullet Club logos.
That's great.
Yep.
That's amazing. T-Pops learned that Shibata exchanging chops with Tanahashi after his retirement match was honestly one of the sweetest ways a wrestler could to pay tribute to a fellow wrestler.
Yeah.
That was great. You get basically like they chopped each other like 3 times and then hugged. It was beautiful.
That's what you do.
Freaking beautiful. Riz, what'd you learn?
So I learned that going and watching just those shareable moments on like Instagram or something like that made me really like wrestling above watching it live, because I was able to watch probably 5 different versions of people watching Kit Wilson's entrance and not knowing who Kit Wilson was until they saw Kit Wilson and loving the song. It's so boring. Like, it's so good. It fits so well with his character, and I want to see. It makes me want to see more.
Those, and I know the other guy's injured right now, right? So,
Yeah.
like, those are the kind of guys that are going to find a way, right?
Yeah, and like some people said, like it's going to be the same thing, like what they did to Giovanni Vinci. It's going to, like, no, it's not. Like,
no,
they did a whole series about I think it was Price in a wheelchair because of a broken or like a broken hand or something like that. Like they're going to be fine.
yeah.
He's going to be fine.
Yeah,
Everybody's gonna be fine.
they're way too entertaining, and this is a thing that low key this toxic masculinity angle he's been doing is been like something they've been low key doing in the background for several weeks. So,
and the
like,
song is an earworm.
Oh
It's
yeah, oh yeah,
embedded.
yeah. Then it might be the new Glorious. So, guys, thank you so much. Thank you, Lawless, for spending way too much time with us here this evening.
On a school night, nonetheless.
On a school
too.
night, you know. I know we all go to work in the morning. Well, most of us. I just work tonight, straight through. But thank you, everybody. Again, 20 years of this, and man, well, I'll save the words for next week probably. And I'll figure out what those are.
Yes.
There's your teaser. Ha!
Tune in.
Tune in. Will I cry in the middle of a wrestling ring?
Will Sorg have pants on?
Will I have pants on? Will Riz have pants on? Will Riz's pants remain on during his segment?
Definitely not.
Who knows? Who else? Who other bad ideas am I going to give a segment to next week? Who knows? Maybe not even me. There's a lot of question marks on that sheet still for the spaces I was given. So thanks, guys, so much. You have been an awesome Mayhem audience. Mayhem out.
Just wait, just wait, just wait, just wait. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Don't give up what you want, take it back. Wait for the perfect time, then attack. Do what you
This show is a member of the Sorgatron Media Podcast Network. Find out more at sorgatronmedia.com.